NBA Straya. How are you going? You're right, you should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's hump day. It's Wednesday, January 21. And look, this is a great hump day in terms of all the hump days across the year, right? Like, this is prime tennis on the couch, hot nights, cold beers, not worrying about work. Just like, who cares, right? You've got the Australia Day long weekend coming up. Start it now. Take a load off. That's your boss, Jim, telling you what to do. Anyway, big fun NBA Australia today. I am your host, James Clements. I am here in Larry Armour Studios. And Jimmy Butler is done for the year with an ACL. It was brutal. We're going to talk about what that means for Golden State, what it means for Steph Curry, what it means for LeBron James. Look out. But we've also got the All-Star starters announced, which is very fun. So I did my All-Star picks last Friday. I'm going to go through all the starter stuff, talk about some interesting stuff about each of the picks in the East and West, and then sort of have my revised reserves, which don't get announced for like another week and a half because the coaches are lazy. Sure. Anyway, and then we've got three other things, and that's it. We're going to talk about some Knicks chaos, that sort of stuff, and that'll be the show because the games today haven't started. I got to go pick up the squids. And we're just doing these fun summer shows. So, bloody hell, let's get into it. I think it's episode 1340 of NBA Straya. Let's go! The worst of days!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gay.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Darcy Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
You better watch out for the cat attack. If you are Dwight Powell and his nuts. Why is that, Jim? Well, in yesterday's battery of games, right? So I taped a Dead Set Legends Club show yesterday. So if you haven't signed up to our Patreon, buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. You can hit the links in the show description or the social bios. You'll get this exclusive show where I go through every NBA team, compare them to a band, right? A band, there's a twist. You got to go listen to the show, sign up, you get it delivered to you. So go do that, buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya, right? It was a really fun one, and I'm sort of doing all this, and then we did an NFL Australia, and didn't do an NBA show yesterday, a proper. And I sort of watched a bunch of that pretty crazy Dallas Knicks game. There was a massive beatdown, and at some point you're like, why are they kicking each other in the balls? It's like Dwight Powell versus Cat just playing a bit of Rochambeau. It's like, what? He just kicked him in the nuts. Oh my God, he kicked him back in the nuts. It's like they're just kicking it, just going whang. I'll Rochambeau you for it, they say. Bang in the ghoulies. Absolute chaos gear. And I guess, and we're going to talk about this in three things. If you're Cat, you got to watch out for the cat attack if you're the Knicks fans because they're getting the full Karl Anthony Towns experience. Oh my God, right? They're getting a lot of Cat, and it's not going great. Let's leave it at that. Hey, let's start today's show with a daily. Whip around. Good news first, kind of, right? Josh Giddey, he's going to be back. He was assigned to the Windy City Bulls rehab. Was questionable to play today for the Chicago Bulls. Ends up sitting out. So they're probably just being a little bit more cautious with his hammy. That's fine. You get that on the big jobs. Doesn't look like there's any setbacks. It's just like, yeah, just give it another day, off you go. I just hope he's not getting traded. Right? It's just come down late. But the big injury news is obviously out west in Golden State with Jimmy Butler tearing his ACL. So if you're watching this game, it was like the late game was Miami versus Golden State. I was watching it, watching aghast at Bam Adebayo, which if you're listening to the NBA Supercoach show, Jim does Supercoach. Go listen to that if you're not listening already. It's a fun one. I do love him as Supercoach. And Bam and the Miami Heat are on this 5-game road trip right now, right? They're playing 5 games in a week, which is pretty chaotic. Bam, they don't have Tyler Hero. He's got this rib contusion. There's another bit of injury news. He's got this rib thing where like the cartilage holding your ribs together and like to your like spine isn't going great. And it just hurts to buggery. So I don't think he's going to be playing anytime soon on that road trip. So Bam is like this huge, big super coach addition this week. You get him on your team. He's got 5 games. He's likely to play most, if not all of them. And proceeded to start the game by going 0 of 8 from the field. Spud, spuddity spud of the night, right? Going full spud. And then, third quarter, Jimmy Butler goes down in a screaming heap. And you're like, Jimmy Butler's not Cat. He's not Embiid. He's not one of these screamy, everything hurts, like, oh my God, I'm doing the thing. It was not great. Also, Bam ended up 1 of 13. Bloody hell. Breaking my heart, Bam. Anyway, so Jimmy Butler goes down. He's sort of making jokes as he's there screaming. He's like, come help me up, you idiots. Oh, I can't do this. Gets wheelchaired off. That is his ACL done for the season. He's done for the year. And the interesting, I guess, the timing part of this is, you might remember Jimmy Butler signed that big extension, right? The big contract extension, 2 years, 54 mil this year, 56.8 mil next year. The timing of this ACL tear is brutal because the ACL, it's like one of those things where you go, well, it's the sort of 12-month recovery, the rehab, the recovery, give or take, a month or two either side, depending on the player. That sort of puts him back middle of next year. But by that point, you were on a 2-year plan, right? You had Steph, you've got Draymond, now you've got Jimmy Butler, you've got Dad's Army out there. And the reason I was so pessimistic about the Golden State Warriors heading into this season is like, they're fucking old, man. Like someone will do a hammy or an ankle or something and they'll miss some time. It happens. The ACL is a fucking huger kick in the dick than that, right? And this sucks because I love Jimmy Butler for all his crazy flaws. He's been really good for them this year, averaging basically a 25.5, shooting 52% from the floor. They'd also been on a fucking tear, the Warriors, looking pretty good. 25-19, but they'd won 4 straight. They were 12-4 in their last 16 games. They kicked the bejesus out of Miami. And you're getting to this point of like, well, what are they going to do with Johnny Kuminga? Oh, cum dog millionaire. What are they going to do to add to this team? And now all of a sudden with Jimmy Butler going down for the rest of this season, probably the first half of next year, what do they do? This is huge. It sucks for Jimmy Butler, obviously, massively because he's not a young bloke. And anytime you tear an ACL when you're 36, not great. Because that's one of those ones like, I'm not going to ever fucking doubt his work ethic. I will doubt his leadership abilities and his culture-setting ethos. Not his work ethic, though. But 36 years old, a lot of wear and tear, an ACL, it's just fucking brutal. That sucks. I love Jimmy Butler. The NBA is a way more fun league with Jimmy Butler in it and playing well on a fun team. So that stinks. So will he come back? Probably. I'm not going to ever doubt his work ethic. So he will come back at some point. But with him sort of, obviously picking up that 56 mil next year, it really throws this Warriors timeline into stark relief, doesn't it? So where do we go from here, Jim? Well, the way I look at it, there's 3 or 4 big things to do with the Warriors. 3 big things with Golden State. Number 1, what does this mean for Steph and his last few years? The dude just got voted to the All-Star team as a starter, the oldest starting point guard in the history of the NBA All-Star game. And I guess the first thing you have to do with Steph is go, hey, Steph, do you want us to trade you? Right? You ask him first before, do you want to stay a Golden State Warrior for the rest of your career, or do you want us to kick the tires on you going somewhere else? Do you want to go to Charlotte and ride out your final years over there as a Hornet, and we'll see what we can get in return? Do you want to go to the Lakers and hang out with your buddy LeBron? Like, what do you reckon? We'll get Austin Reeves in return. It'll be fucking hunky-dory over here. But the first thing you do as Steph Curry, the face of your franchise, the most important player to ever play for your team, made your team a global icon, made your team a destination. Don't forget, Golden State was fucked for the years. I was at one of the games like when Steph, I think, was a rookie. He was playing with Monte Ellis. They were playing against the Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer, Yaz. I had awesome tickets. It was like the last day of a trip, basically, to the States for me, for work stuff. And like I'd sort of banged up to San Francisco, went to this game, was going to go back to LA the next day. I threw on such a wild drunk that I'm like, I still don't know how I got home. It was crazy. And it was the place out there and in Oakland, it was at Roracle. It was bereft. It was a bit shit. And he came in electric after he got over those ankle injuries. Boom. They become a dynasty and away we go. So if he wants to be traded, you can trade him. I don't know if he wants to be traded. I don't think he'd want to be traded. I think he's very much in the Kobe Dirk mold of one team player forever and ever and ever and ever. And I guess as part of that is like 1B is like, well, if he wants to stay, do you then go, right, well, we're going to last dance this even harder. Like we've last danced pretty hard to go get Jimmy Butler. We've given up Wiggins and a bunch of other assets. We've gotten Jimmy Butler back. Do we last dance even harder and try to make a splash this year still and next year? And then we get Jimmy Butler back, presumably, unless he's part of our trade. So the first thing you do is, Steph, what do you want us to do? Right? That's the first thing you have to do as the Warriors. They're fucking like led by Mike Dunleavy. And this is like a weird thing that I was thinking about. It's very strange that they got Michael Dunleavy Jr. there running that front office. If it's Bob Myers, you know, with all of his history, with all of those guys, that title winning run, I do wonder if Bob Myers would have more of the sort of stomach to go, we can cut bait with the veterans, or if he's got less of that because they've achieved so much together. Whereas Mike Dunleavy, like he's just like, fucking Steph's a peer. Like, I wonder if he can be more bloody minded or less. I kind of feel like he can just go, maybe a little bit more. But you go to him first and then you try to figure out what you're going to do. Because number 2, what does this mean for Jonathan Kuminga? Oh, cum dog millionaire, Johnny Cumbucket. Can he do anything to A, help on the court, B, help build his trade value back up? Steve Kerr was asked about this yesterday. He's like, yeah, I'm going to play him. It's like, why the fuck haven't you been playing him now then, Steven? And what's your son's name again? Nicholas? Jesus. Hey, there's a thought experiment, just really quickly. A dude named Nicholas Kerr. What do you call him? Red flags, just saying. Anyway, Johnny Cumdog. There will be teams out there looking at him going, cool. Yeah, we could get him into our system. It might work a little bit better than with Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr clearly hates him, just doesn't want to play the way Steve Kerr wants to play. It's all just fallen apart. The relationship is broken down dramatically. It's just all gone to the dogs. But if he's not playing, it's wildly hard to gauge what his value is. So now they get to go, well, we're going to showcase him for 2 weeks and we'll see what happens, I guess. I guess this basically means you got a 2-week period where you go, we've got to make a decision and we're going to make it fucking fast. And Johnny Cumdog, can you do something good? Be awesome for 2 weeks? And because this has been the weird fucking thing about this Steve Kerr Kuminga stuff. By not playing him, he's completely fucking tanked his trade value and like set the franchise back. Like Steve Kerr's ego here has gotten in the way of this Warriors team having like a real deal, fuck you, good young wing trade asset that half the fucking league would be after. If you just fucking swallowed it and played him and just went, look, yes, you're not fucking playing the way I want to, but just fucking here's your fucking 14 minutes a game. Do what you can. Right. Anyway, so if Cumdog can go out there and do anything, he becomes a trade asset again, and you can sort of look to build on what you need to do from here on out to keep this team alive, maybe for this season and next. And so that really, really, really shines a light on Kuminga very, very, very brightly. And for all the fucking ink spilled over Kuminga and how very fucking little he's ever done, commensurate to the amount of fucking trade chatter we've had, now it becomes really important. So let's see what the fuck he can do. Come on, Cumdog. Prove us all right or wrong. And the third one is, is there actually a really big swing that you can make now that could actually keep Steph happy and on a contender in Golden State? If he says he wants to stick around, if Cumdog does go off for the next 2 weeks, can you package Cumdog and Jimmy Butler or Draymond for, I don't know,
The Greek Freak. I would like to play with Steph Curry.
okay, Giannis, let's go, right? Suddenly you've got Kuminga who's playing off his head, Draymond or Jimmy Butler as a bit of trade ballast. Young dudes, picks, whatever you need, Milwaukee, we've got you, because you suddenly get Giannis into the Golden State, fucking piss Draymond off. You can just replace him with Giannis as that point forward, small ball center, as you need. And it sort of feels like that's the only way that you can really build an instant re-contender around Steph for the next 2 years, doesn't it? I mean, unless he wants to be traded, in which case you retool around Austin Reeves or LaMelo. But I think the Giannis one sort of, to a degree, for Golden State, it would make sense. For Milwaukee, it feels very much like they aren't wildly motivated to do a fucking thing until the offseason. Because they're very much like, look, if it all goes to shit this year, fuck it. We'll fire Doc. We'll see what the trade market is for Giannis, and then we'll rebuild. But this is the year. So I don't know. But the other one is Anthony Davis, right? And whether that be, my favorite thing about this is Anthony Davis plays on the Dallas Mavericks. Klay Thompson is on the Dallas Mavericks. We have a chance to do the right thing and bring Klay home with Anthony Davis and, I don't know, Jaden Hardy. Traded off for Jimmy Butler, Johnny Kuminga, and Will Richard. Maybe someone throws in a pick here or there. But you've got an injured AD who's out for 6 weeks, taking him past the trade deadline. You replace Jimmy Butler on your team with an actual big man who can do some shit. Golden State are like, fuck, this is awesome. And you've got Klay Thompson back. Look out, Splash Brothers reunite, baby! And I guess the Warriors, they're just like, I feel pretty good about this. And then on the other side, Dallas are like, we turned Anthony Davis into Jimmy Butler, a young wing, Will Richard, and one of these Golden State Warriors picks. Maybe. I don't know if I like that for Dallas, but we just don't know if Dallas are in the selling mood, are we? Because it feels like old baby fucking Gerber Patrick Dumont is like fucking a bit burned by trading the greatest player to ever play the NBA game, right? Luka. He's just like, oh my God, I've made a horrible mistake. But anyway, AD to Golden State. That'd be an interesting one. As long as you can get Klay back, I'm very, very interesting. So the thing is, some of the reporting about this has also been a little bit strange. Like we've heard from folks out there that Golden State is like, nah, that's cool. We'll play Kuminga for the rest of the season so he can actually build up his trade value, then move him in the offseason. The other one is like the Warriors don't want to trade Jimmy Butler. They'll be probably trying to trade Jonathan Kuminga. And like, it's like, all right. So no one knows anything. Great. So what would you do, Jim? Tell you what, I would be on the dog and bone to Milwaukee and just going, Giannis and Steph, let's make this fucking happen. What do you need from us, the Bucks? And I feel like versus like Carlin, we'll talk about the Knicks in a second, but geez, I feel like Giannis on Golden State, he'd be a lot happier, I think, with that than the New York Knickerbockers of New York City, right? So I think it'd be pretty fun. Let's get him to Golden State. Anthony Davis to Golden State, bringing Klay home. That is just, Klay Thompson needs to retire either a Warrior or a Laker. And this Dallas thing is just fucked. But the Jimmy Butler thing sucks. He has to be sitting there going, cool, I've got $100 million coming to me in these 2 years anyway. Fellas, if you're going to trade me, fine. But the weird thing is, I think if you're Jimmy Butler, you got to be sitting there going, God damn it, I came here for one last fucking chance at a title. I've been to 2 finals. I've never won shit. God damn. Now I've done my ACL, so a bit of a rough one. But yeah, it's a really strange situation. This is why I wanted to jump on and sort of just hash this one all out on today's show and not do like a sort of game-based one. because it is a huge, monumental, seismic shift for a team that had been sort of rising up the standings, had been playing a little bit better. They are in 8th in the West, right? Like, so usually we don't talk too much about an 8th seed, but the West is so fucking just jammed together that they're like, I don't know, 3, oh, there you go, like 2.5 games out of 4. So, right, 2.5 games out of 4, and they've been playing so fucking well. It's just a massive kick in the dick. It sucks for the Warriors. It throws just a crazy wrench into trade talks for the next 2 weeks up into the trade deadline. It's fascinating stuff. Sucks for Jimmy Butler. Let me know what you want to see happen, because I think any sort of deal that gets Giannis to the Golden State Warriors, thumbs up from me. AD and Clay coming over, also on board. It's piss Draymond off. Draymond in Dallas would be funny as hell. They wouldn't put up with his shit. He would fight Jason Kidd. Like, don't get it wrong. They would just punch on. And it does, like, the Jimmy Butler thing always still reminds me of just like, I don't think we talk enough about, in terms of NBA pivots. It's because it's now like 6-7 years ago. But the Tobias Harris over me. Jimmy Butler to the Miami Heat in a sign-in trade after the Sixers give Ben Simmons the max extension and Tobias Harris an absolute fuck ton of money as well. Jimmy Butler left on the outside. So they make this decision, and like it's a bit of the old revisionist history of like they chose Tobias Harris over him. They chose Ben Simmons over Jimmy Butler because they fucking hated each other. Right? Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler and Embiid were mates. Ben Simmons fucking hated him. They hated each other. And the Sixers were like, well, we'll just go with the guy who doesn't ever want to shoot. And then it's this decision like has completely derailed the Philadelphia 76ers organization for like a half decade, right? Like it sank the Sixers having no Jimmy Butler. The Heat go on to make 2 finals with Butts. It basically ruined Ben Simmons and his career to where he's now just like running a fishing fucking like competition team. Awesome. Great job. Really nailed that one, Ben. And it's still just like one of the great what ifs. If fucking Ben Simmons and Jimmy Butler could have just gotten on, or the Sixers fucking went the hard road and went, well, fuck it, we'll trade Ben Simmons. His value was high then. You had Jimmy Butler basically replace him in those playoffs as the lead ball handler. Simo had a sook. It's then fucking take a shot, Ben. You can't be a fucking point guard who doesn't shoot, you idiot. Right? How did no one just fucking say that to him? Anyway, so one of the craziest sort of moments in recent history of the NBA is Butts going to Miami instead of just sticking around there in Philly. Anyway, 3 other things, then we'll talk about All-Star. 3 other things. Let's do it. Number 1, the Knicks.
What was that? What the hell was that?
They got absolutely walloped by the Dallas Mavericks G Leaguers yesterday. Gave up, was it 74 in the first half, I think? It was absolutely abysmal. And they got curb stomped, bro. Curb stomped. To the point where they're getting booed at the half, getting booed at breaks, getting booed at the end of the game. Just absolute chaos, right? Absolute chaos. And like Cat, it's like one of those ones, if you don't watch that game, you're like, well, Cat had like 22 and 18, man. He also had 5 turnovers and looked like an absolute just wacky wailing arm inflatable tube man anytime he got the ball. And those Knicks fans are just like, this fucking sucks. Fuck this guy. So Brunson, bit of a rough one, 22 and 24 shots. He was then calling a players only meeting. Uh-oh. I love a good players only meeting. He said, guys, we're going to stop looking to the coaching staff for answers. We're going to stop looking elsewhere. The answers to what is wrong with us right now are right in this locker room. We got to look in the mirror. Got to look at the man in the mirror. At which point I've got to assume another Knicks player would have said, well then, hey, Jalen, do you want to play like one fucking lick of defense, you bell end? And you, Carl, can you play defense without kicking dudes in the fucking nuts? That's the reason we're shit. You guys fucking stink on defense, and it's really hard. And like, this is the vibes thing with this Knicks team right now. if you're giving up 70, it was 75 they gave up in the first half. They were down just massive. They got down by 30. Boo birds ringing down. Spike Lee disgusted. And it's all effort. It's all, oh man, I'm going to get back in defense in transition. And they gave up like a fuck ton of, it was like 27-2 transition points in the first half. It's like fucking abysmal gear. That's a team that's not playing for each other. And it's probably because you got Jalen Brunson going, look at me, I'm the captain now. It's like, then fucking play some defense, captain. And Karl Anthony Towns going, oh, I sacrificed so much. Then how about you fucking get back on D, you idiot? There are problems in New York. Problems because they just keep losing. They're 25-18 now. That is 4 straight losses. That is, I believe, 9 losses in their last 11 games. That is, not very good. The defense has dropped off a cliff. And my favorite part now is the New York media going, hang on, why did we fire Tibbs? I love it. This is the same media going, we've got to fucking fire Tibbs. Could Mike Brown get another in-season firing? I don't think there's been another coach in NBA history who's been fired in season more than Mike Brown. I don't think it will because it's his first year. But still, when James Dolan's out there going like, well, the expectation this year is we make the finals and we win. It's like, all right, no pressure here, Chop, no pressure here. The Tibbs thing is pretty crazy because it's obviously like, we need to fix the offense. Tibbs isn't good enough. And then boom, the offense has been really good and still is pretty good. But the defense is just fucking abysmal. So here we are. Now they're third. They're only like just ahead of the Raptors. And I think like the big question they'll have then is like, do we trade Cat? What are we doing with Cat? They're sort of kicking the, apparently they're kicking the tires on, they've spoken to Memphis, Orlando, Charlotte. If you're Karl Anthony Towns, you're like, I'll be good. I don't want to go to Memphis, Orlando, or Charlotte. Wow. Just saying. So the Knicks are having a lot of problems. This swoon is pretty bad. It is the classic NBA Cup hangover. And I contend this is all because they didn't hang the banner. You got to take pride in your work, you fucking idiots. This is what happens. You displease the basketball gods by winning the NBA Cup and not acknowledging it. Hang the banner, watch it all turn around. I'm just saying. But the Knicks, look, they've got big decisions to make. It all sort of keeps fucking honing in on Cat. Brunson's been a big part of the problem here as well, FYI. The defense, the point of attack defense is always going to be really, really tough when you've got a big dude behind him. Cat, who they just fucking put a wing on most of the time anyway, because he's not going to hurt you defensively. And on offense, like, cool. He's going to just he looks like he's fucking can't jump at the moment. His shot looks super fucking flat. The other Mitch Robinson only plays a couple of games every so often. It's just a fucking mess. Should they trade Cat? Depends on what you get back. But I still kind of think this team has got enough talent to turn this around. And if Jalen Brunson has got the captain vibes and they can get that defense fucking pointing in the right direction, they should be all right. But wow, problems in New York. Number 2 in the 3 other things, Detroit basketball. They played an absolute rip snorter against Boston yesterday. That game rocked. They win in a 1-point thriller at home. Cade Cunningham couldn't hit much of a shot as well. I talked about this on the Supercoach show. He's got like a wrist contusion and he hasn't hit a shot for like the last 3 games. And it's not great. He's had fuck ton of assists, fuck all turnovers. He's doing very well. Jaylen Brown misses the game winner. But the cool thing about Detroit is they're sort of looking at this going, ooh, hello. Hello there. Hello. What are we doing here? Hello. They're on top of the East, obviously. And 31 and 10 is like no fucking joke. And it feels like there's room for improvement, right? I still don't really think they'll take a big swing and go get like a Lowry Markkanen or somebody like that. But with Tobias Harris over me being there, it's kind of like, ooh, we could sort of flip that. Maybe my sweet baby Karis LeVert, maybe Duncan Robinson. Could you go for a big swing upgrade? But the problem is like, who is that big swing upgrade? It's fucking hard and light on the ground to find that person. Unless you go, you know what? Michael Porter Jr. in place of Tobias Harris. We'll send sweet baby Karis back to Brooklyn. Maybe we can see what we get. We give up at first. That's one of the ones you sort of go, well, maybe that gooses their offense. Because like Detroit, they've got the second best defensive rating in the league. They're awesome, right? They look legit. They look terrifying. The 11th best offense, Jaden Ivey quite hasn't really found his groove yet. Dennis Jenkins been relegated to the bench again, but Jaden Ivey is just sort of scuffling along. He has like one or two good games every so often, but yeah, not having that much of an impact. So I don't know. The big question, I guess, sort of comes down to, do Detroit do anything? They could. I don't think they ought to. Just sort of roll the fucking dice, see what you can do. Could any team in the East beat OKC, San Antonio, or Denver? Right now, don't think so. Could Detroit raise their ceiling to get to that point? I don't know if Michael Porter Jr. does it. I don't know if like any other sort of like shooting guard de jour. Like maybe if they went for a smaller move and went and got Cam Thomas from the Nets, right? Just as a fucking bench gunner. That might help a little bit because that's the dude who can just come in and go, hey, tonight I'm going to score 28 points. Check. You're like fucking sick. That's kind of like the variability they almost need. So maybe a Cam Thomas-y kind of move is a smarter one. But anyway, Detroit, they look fucking awesome. That Celtics game was off its head. Loved it. And the third thing, Jimmy, you're going to talk about a West team? Nah, kind of I am actually. I'm wearing the Detroit hat actually, I realized today, if you're watching on the old YouTube. So, way out west. Spurs look awesome. Thunder still cruising. Don't worry about it. Wolves, can they make a trade? I'm not really bothered. Today is the 34th anniversary of Ice Cube's Good Day. Jim, what are you talking about? Well, he fucked around, got a triple-double. The Lakers boot the Supersonics. And this still sticks in my head because as a Supersonics fan at the time, I'm like, wait a minute. Ice Cube just said the Supersonics in a song. This is awesome. And Good Day is also one of the just fucking great hip-hop tunes, right? So 34th anniversary of the day that Ice Cube wrote about in Good Day, because on this day in 1992, the Lakers beat the Supersonics. And it was about when he wrote this song, fucked around, got a triple-double, didn't have to use his AK, all that sort of good stuff, which I kind of loved it because they played basically this time. It came out in February 93. He wrote the song, bang, we got it, January 20, 1992. That's January 20 over in the States right now. Happy 34th anniversary to the Lakers beating the Supersonics on Ice Cube's Good Day. What do you reckon about that? That's pretty good. All right, let's take a quick break, come back and talk about all the All-Stars. Yeehaw! All-Stars.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Daryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You listen to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to
Straya.
NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do some All-Star chatter. And this segment is brought to you by you. That's right, I mentioned at the top of the show, you can buy me a coffee, shout us a beer. And if you do so, you join the Dead Set Legends Club, where you get exclusive shows. And the new exclusive show, which I have recorded and just editing, putting it all together, is about teams as bands, with an extra twist in there as well, which is awesome. So go sign up, buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. Basically, you shout me a coffee or a beer, and off you go. Get all the fun exclusive shit, so go do it. Right, let's talk All-Stars. All-Stars. The starters were announced. As a refresher, all the All-Star stuff, right? Like, you have all of your starters voted on by 3 lots of people. 50% of the vote goes to the fans, 25% goes to the current players, and 25% goes to, like, the media group panel. It's like 100 media members, right? And they all vote on everything, and we get the sort of results as it sort of like, relates to each other in that the way that the percentages and the voting breaks down. And it's a really, really sort of like, I don't know, the player vote is always stupid. They're always voting for each other and themselves, and it's just a bit of a mess. The media tends to get it right, but I always love the fan votes because it's just like, yeah, it's a fucking exhibition. Like the media, oh, we need to get All-Star right. No, your fucking job is to get all NBA and all that sort of shit right. Shut up. Leave All-Star to the fans. It's an exhibition game. Let the fans choose. Anyway, the biggest thing obviously this year is no LeBron James as a starter for the first one in 20 plus years. But out east, the East starters were all selected. So all three lots of the votes, fan vote, media vote, player vote, they picked the same 5 starters, right? Slightly different orders, but they got the 5 players right. They all nailed that, which is kind of neat. You've got Giannis Antetokounmpo,
The Greek Freak. I am an all-star starter for 10th time.
Cade Cunningham, which is awesome. Jaylen Brown, awesome. Tyrese Maxey, awesome. Jalen Brunson, awesome. It's all pretty cool. So they pick all the 5 same starters in slightly different orders. Giannis won the fan vote, which is pretty neat. But he came second behind Cade. So Cade won the player vote. And he came 5th in the media vote. Poor Giannis. Jeez. But Cade finishing first in the player vote is awesome. He came second in the media vote and 4th in fan voting. It just sort of shows you the stature that Cade Cunningham has now risen to with this Pistons team, which is awesome. Showing him the respect he deserves. Jaylen Brown actually won the media vote, which means, and it tells me a lot, that the media are so fucking fixated on Boston that it's really hard to sort of separate that. But he's also had a great fucking year. And you factor in Giannis's injury, all that sort of stuff, Cade being out for just a little tick there too, it makes a little bit of sense, but still. He was 3rd in player vote, 5th in the fan vote. My favorite, though, is that Tyrese Maxey came 2nd in the fan voting. I love Tyrese Maxey. And when you hear American commentators sort of go, how did Tyrese Maxey come 2nd in fan voting? It's because they're all fucking American dipshits. They can't see past their own asshole, right? That's how Americans roll. And so Tyrese Maxey on a Sixers team that has like a pretty outsized international influence thanks to Embiid, Ben Simmons, basically their continued success over the years. And Maxey's electric. He's also on all the fucking League Pass commercials. And he's got an electric smile. He's got an awesome fucking play style. He's on all the fucking highlights. He's hitting massive threes, doing sick dunks. Maxey rocks. 2nd in the voting. I love that. Brunson got the other 2, sort of like basically a little bit 2 down, but there you go. The other one, so they got all 5 of those right. Giannis, Cade, Jalen, Tyrese, and Jalen Brunson. Donovan Mitchell was the one who missed out. He came 6th in all 3 of the categories from the fans, the media, and the players. So they sort of nailed the top 5. I love that. The other ones getting multiple other votes as a starter were Kat, Jalen Johnson, and Jalen Duren, which was amazing because Jalen Duren came 30th in the player vote. Just ahead of Jay Huff. So the players respect the shit out of Cade Cunningham and are annoyed as fuck by Jalen Duren's physicality, that tells me. I love that. So there's the East. Giannis, Cade, JB, Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brunson. I don't like that we've got 2 Jalens already in the starters and they're both JBs. So anyway, our West, a little bit more drama. You have Jokic, Luka, SGA, Steph, and Wemby. Amazing. Because Denny Avdia actually finished ahead of Victor Wembanyama and Ant-Man in the fan voting. Denny came 5th. That's awesome. But he had fuck all votes from the media or the players, which just tells me they're not watching the Blazers. Losers. Wemby also only finished 7th in the player voting, but he still got the starter spot out west because of the media vote. And he finished 1 media vote ahead of Ant-Man, which got him ahead on percentage. So Ant-Man misses out as a starter. So does LeBron. Ant-Man actually fucking crushed it in the player vote ahead of Wemby, but fan votes misses out and that 1 media vote just behind Wemby. So doesn't become a starter. So Luka won the fan vote. Not a surprise there. He's on the Lakers now. Do you remember that? He was number 2 in media votes, tied with Jokic and behind SGA. Luka came 6th in player voting, which is interesting. Their players are just a bit sick of Luka and his whinging because he came behind Jokic, Steph, SGA, and KD in the player votes out west. The players voted for Kevin Durant, SGA, and Jokic and Curry ahead of Luka. Pretty interesting. The media had Edwards over Steph, but the fan votes and the Wemby spot basically sort of, kicked him in the nuts. Steph became the oldest point guard to start an All-Star game at 37, which is pretty cool. Alpi Şengün got rooted. LeBron got media votes and as a starter, which is pretty cool. And I guess the question becomes, LeBron's not a starter. Do the coaches select him in so he gets an All-Star nod, but then he doesn't play? What do you reckon? It's in LA, isn't it? So it's at the Intuit Dome. I wonder if he sticks around and plays the game, or if he just sort of fakes his, my back's sore, remember? I had sciatica. Bit of an interesting one. But my absolute favorite result from the entire All-Star shit and the voting is that my good friend George Niang got 10 player votes, because that's just probably a fucking old Utah Jazz text thread, group text. They're like, hey, we should all vote for George. Which I think is fucking hilarious. Because it just sort of shows you how, seriously the players take the fucking All-Star voting, right? So, just saying, bit fucked. George Niang hasn't even played this year. So, yeah, they're not taking it super serious. Just saying. So, the reserves get picked by the coaches, and that gets released on February 2. So, it's in 11, 12 more days. There's a massive double header that night as well, which is kind of fun. So, they're sort of doing the big hullabaloo. So, in the East, you've got Giannis, Maxey, Cade, Jalen. Who are my reserves now? Scotty Barnes still gets a nod. Michael Porter Jr. still gets a nod. Donnie Mitchell still gets a nod. Jalen Johnson still gets a nod. The last week, can I boot Cat? He's been just shit. I'm still going to put Gideon. Michael Porter Jr.'s obviously made it, I think. Even though the Nets are shit, he's been amazing. So I think I might replace Cat with Norm Powell. Paolo Banchero is a weird one too. Is he been better than Siakam this year? I'd rather have Paolo in there, fuck it. Siakam's the worst team in the league. And out west, you've got Luka, Jokic, Wemby, SGA, and Steph. Cool. The rest of my West All-Stars the reserves would be Denny Avdia, Kawhi. Though he's already sitting out with knee irritation, which usually means he's out for the rest of the year. And if they're doing the All-Star game at Intuit, that they're going to fucking have him on there. But what happens if Adam Silver goes, actually, you're not allowed to play the All-Star game because of, the whole alleged cap circumvention. Because here is our punishment for you, dickheads, and fuck you, Steve Ballmer, right? LeBron James makes it as a reserve. Ant-Man obviously makes it a reserve. Jamal Murray gets his first nod as an All-Star. He's been fucking awesome this year. He's really close to a 50, 40, 90 shooting year. He's averaging 27 and 5. He's awesome. And then KD, obviously, LeBron, Ant-Man, Murray. The last one sort of comes down to Devin Booker, Alpi, Chet, or Larry Markin. And Larry is now just sitting out games and he's gone. So Booker versus Alpi and Chet. I kind of want to give it to Chet. Murray's having a better year than Booker. Booker is he's had a very strange season, right? Where he's averaging 25, 4, and 6, shooting 45% from the floor. And it's just, they've been good. He deserves it. I think Chet's been a bit more impactful. It's a bit weird, but anyway. So there you go. West, I have Luka, Jokic, Wemby, SJ, Steph, then Denny, Kawhi, KD, LeBron James, Ant-Man, Murray, and Chet Holmgren. They'll sit LeBron out anyway. He'll get picked by the coaches, then he'll go out, and then they'll probably put, I don't know. They'll probably have to make up one number, I reckon, in the world team. So it'll probably be LP Şengün. Because I think by my count with my ones, I think I've got 7 overseas players. Maybe 8 if you've got Gids there. Anyway, good times. Let's do a really quick Outback Takehouse because I just wanted to say one thing about the weird All-Star stuff. It's Wednesday at Outback. You know what that means? Hump Day. That's right. We've gone into the Outback, taken down a couple of feral camels. Boom. Slice off the hump. What you do, you drain it. You stuff it full of mince, coriander, a couple of other spices, some chickpeas. Boom. Roast that up. It's bloody delicious. The Hump Day special. It's only at Outback. Today's Flame Grill take is, why are the best coaches tabbed with having to be stuck coaching the All-Star teams? Like, they better get paid an extra bonus because it's a bit bullshit. Surely they'd rather go on like a fucking 4-day holiday with their family in the middle of the season and get a fucking load off than go have to coach a fucking bunch of shit in the All-Star game in a game that no one fucking cares about. Like, instead, it should be the worst coaches in the NBA who get the All-Star nods because that way Brian Keefe and Doug Christie get a chance to actually coach a good fucking team for once. Only at Outback. Not bad, good size. All right, quick Australian player watch. No, we're not going to do the Australian player watch just yet. I think we'll do a big catch-up on Friday's show if we get time. We'll just do a bit of a pick and preview for tomorrow's games, I reckon. Because we've got a pretty awesome array of games today. Like Lakers, Denver, even without Jokic, is still pretty fun. And like the Aussie player watch, like we nearly got another triple-double, was it yesterday from Dyson? He got to 17, 9, and 10 with 3 steals. Bloody good. Jock's been crushing it. Crushed it over in London, which was really fun. And yeah, no Gids back yet, but still. So I think we'll do a big catch-up on all of them on Friday's show when we do the power rankings again as well. Yeah, you're 21 and 8 over there in London. Bloody good. But what we'll do is we'll look at some games for tomorrow, make some picks. And remember, you can always find our picks over at Dabble. I think we had a bit of a rough one the other day too, but managed to get there, get the picks in for today too. Still traveling at around 55% for the season against the spread, so not bad. So tomorrow we've got, all you have to do is like hit the link in our show description or in our social bios and it'll take you there. Cleveland go to Charlotte tomorrow, which is a bit dangerous. Charlotte, when they've got their dudes, are awesome. I keep banging on about this. I've been banging on about it forever. If they're healthy, they are feisty. Charlotte are plus 2.5 at home against Cleveland, who haven't been wildly convincing. They got their ass handed to them by OKC yesterday. I don't mind Charlotte. They can hang with everybody. Let's go Charlotte plus 2.5. Hell yeah. Indy at Boston. The Celtics are 10.5 point favorites at home. I will probably still take the Celtics despite... Look, Indy, they went pretty close against Philly yesterday. End up losing by 9. I think Boston could probably still beat them by more than 11. As long as those shots drop. Indy are just not that good defensively. So let's go Boston, minus 10.5. Brooklyn at New York. I'm going to go the Nets plus 11.5 because the Knicks are going to be out for blood. But Brooklyn, I don't know. They play tough. They play feisty. Let's go the Nets. Memphis, Atlanta. That's a fun one too. Let's have a look and see. Do we have any lines? No. We will probably take Atlanta in that one anyway. Detroit at New Orleans. Don't have a line for that either yet. We'll go the Pistons, obviously. OKC Milwaukee. That's a fun game. Bucks are 9.5 point underdogs at home. The way OKC are traveling again, I'm going to go the Thunder. Minus 9.5. And then we have Toronto at Sacramento. That's a fun one. Raptors over the Kings. Pretty handily there. But that's it. There you go. That's the All-Star Jimmy Butler Golden State wrap show for today. Pretty crazy one. So, yeah. Let us know what you reckon. Who would you like to see traded to Golden State? All that sort of stuff. It's going to be a really fun, weird 2 weeks, isn't it? So in the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube. We'll have some power rankings going up later in the week. Some other videos I reckon floating around. Get around. Jim does Supercoach for all your NBA Supercoach stuff as well. You can subscribe to that. Check it all out. NFL Straya with myself and Gaz. That was an awesome week of football in the playoffs just gone. My beloved Pats through to the AFC title game. You can watch me just fucking shitting myself for like an hour and 10 minutes on the last show, just going, what are we doing here? So that's pretty fun. You can chuck a rating and review, subscribe everywhere across your podcast apps as well for all of those shows. If you haven't like rated, reviewed, or starred or whatever this show, come on. What are you doing? Help your mate Jim out a bit. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. Go check out House Hats, Joshua Delarentis, Fascinator, Goldmine, Ram Shakalami, Iowa Section 8, Green, and Dozers for all the tunes you hear through the show. Smash them on your music streaming platform of choice. And remember, NBA Straya supports Australian bands. We'll do a very quick Delhi review, I think, at the end of this one. So, yeah, there you go. All right, we'll catch you on Friday, you dickheads. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would you? And later, hosen. Oi, how the fuck are you? This is your old mate Deli over here, just swinging by for my latest pop culture review, eh? And I've got to tell you, I fucking banged my head the other day playing in the NBL and shit. Like, Hoops Fest was going on, and I'm like, fucking, this is a pretty good time just to, like, binge the rest of Stranger Things, eh? So that's what we did. It was fucking sick as. The misso's fully into it. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And, so, yeah, watched it all. Have you watched it? No spoilers or nothing, but what'd you reckon? Let us know, because, like, I don't know. Every time I fucking watch Stranger Things, it's been so fucking long since the last one that I'm like, what the fuck happened? Who's that guy? Who's she? What are you doing? Where are they? And then watching this last season, it's even more confusing. I'm just like, where the fuck are they now? And like the misso's like, even I don't know. Like, what the fuck, man? So anyway, still like fucking Lily Allen's old husband. He's still pretty fucking funny. Like, I don't know. Ethan Hawke's like daughter, she's pretty funny. Like, it's all pretty good. But yeah, it just got a bit fucking confusing, didn't it? It's like, where are they? I don't know. Yeah. I hope they fucking survive. So yeah, as you watch it, you're like, geez, it's a bit hair raising. Bit gory at times too, eh? Like, but anyway. So yeah, I still give it, like, still fucking entertaining. Like, it just keeps going and going and going, doesn't it? So good job, Stranger Things. Didn't mind it. Way to finish off the season, way to finish off the series. I'll still give it like 20 out of 10 Delhi ones. So there you go. Not bad. All right, that'll do us for this week. We'll catch you next time. Later, fuckos. Delhi out.